good? What's good? What's good, baby? Welcome to the 73rd episode of the number one show on the MBS brand. Yes, that's MBS. Let's talk about it. Hosted by yours truly, Truex, the sports junkie, and my main man from the West Coast holding it down, the certified hater himself. What up, Keo?
Oh man, it's hot over here in California, man. I don't know how it's over there. I know down in Texas, I heard it's flooding right now. Um, but um, but man, it's burning here. But today's a little bit better though, man. I hope everybody had a good, happy, safe Memorial Day. MBS, let's talk about it. We got a couple of things to discuss. So I'm ready.
Well, let's get it started then. Let's get it
Okay.
popping. Let's get to these topics, man. There's a lot going on right now.
Okay. All right. So let's start off with the first thing that's on course for tonight. Obviously, it's the NBA playoffs. Oh, one more thing. My bad. Sorry about that. Those. I got two things I wanted to say. Number one, we're missing Saray. She got some, obligations that she had to attend to. So hopefully she'll be back next week. So shout out to Saray wherever she's at.
Yes,
And the
sir.
second thing, that the second thing that we have to announce. As a matter of fact, I'll let True announce it.
About the sneaker of the week?
Yeah.
We won't be doing sneaker of the week tonight because the NBA playoffs is going on. I just feel like um we should get that covered more whenever we kind of got things that's kind of dying down, like as far as sports in general. So hopefully, within the next couple of weeks, we'll bring sneaker of the week back. I had a fire sneaker lined up for y'all tonight, but I just think that with the time constraints that we have on this show, we're gonna cut sneaker of the week out this week, and we'll bring it back as soon as possible. But with that being said, Keel, we still got some fire topics, and we have question of the day. And like I say, go call your
Yeah.
grandmother, your aunt, your uncle, your dad, your mom, get them all in here, especially the kids for this one, because I think it's gonna be a heavy debate tonight. Woo!
All right. Let's just start out with the first thing. So, as we know, the NBA playoffs is going on. We just got one game, two games that's about to end. One game is already in progress. We got a total of four games to see who's going to survive and to go into the next round of the NBA playoffs. So, the 76ers, they wrapped it up today, man, winning four games to one, defeating the Washington Wizards very convincingly today. So they advanced to the semis, and they won without Joel Embiid, which was definitely huge. And as of right now, the New York Knicks Atlanta Hawks game, we got about close to less than a minute left. Hawks looks like they're gonna close this series out in New York, man. So I was definitely wrong about it. True was definitely wrong about it. Lately, every day, we've been posting our predictions for the NBA playoffs. We'll be posting it every single day moving forward to see, who get the most right so far. True is in the lead, but I wanted to get his thoughts on tonight's games, man. The ones that just ended right now.
Yeah, man. I'm a little shocked about the Knicks and the Hawks. I am shocked about the Knicks and the Hawks only because I thought that was gonna go seven. I really did, but something inside Trey Young, Bogdanovich, Capella, those boys, those boys felt some type of way after they left New York the first time. Oh, Trey said we gotta get to the A, and when they got to the A, boy, it went down. It went down. They basically dominated in the A, and then they took it right back to New York and dominated tonight. I'm not saying that I'm super shocked after what I saw in the 80s past two games, but I am shocked that it ends in 5 games. Shout out to all the Atlanta Hawks fans. I know my boy Marlon is a big Hawks fan. I know my boy Keenan's a big Knicks fan. And Keenan actually thought the Knicks would win in 5. And you were right about the prediction in 5, Keenan, but you were wrong with the team. So shout out to my man Keenan, man. But in the other series, I was not shocked at all. I'm actually shocked it went 5 games when it came to the 76ers and the Wizards. We know Embiid was out tonight. Keo asked me, he was like, who you have tonight? I said, I got the Sixers. He was like, really? Even without Embiid? I'm like, yeah. Like, why would I switch up? First of all, Ben Simmons had not a great fourth quarter last game. I knew he was going to take that personal. How does he take that personal? He comes into game 5 with a triple-double. He ends the night on a triple-double. Seth Curry. Now, I'm not even said Steph, Keo. I know you out there in the Bay. I didn't say Steph. I said Seth. Seth drops 30 tonight. Of course, Tobias Harris was close to 30. Excuse me. I think he had like 28. And then, of course, Dwight Howard, who basically filled into the center role for Joel Embiid, had 12 and 8. It's not bad for a backup center. But that's the main reason why I stuck with my pick, because I felt like the Sixers overall were a better team. And I don't think Dwight Howard's a bad option as far as their backup's concerned. So, not surprised with that one. I can't wait to see Hawks versus Sixers. We're going to talk about Embiid's injury moving forward, because the Hawks look like a team that can be dangerous moving forward. But so far, man, I like these playoffs. And I didn't even mention Dame's 55 from last night in that series. So I'm with it, man. Yeah, Simmons, shout out to Thomas. Ben Simmons did. He technically, I know what you're saying, started at center, but technically, I don't look at Ben Simmons, even though he played great tonight at that position. I feel like he still was the point guard. He still brought the ball up the court most of the night. So I'm not gonna say center.
Dude, this game, both of these games surprised me, man. I didn't expect it to go the way I thought it was gonna go, especially with the Knicks game. A lot of people had the Knicks winning this game. And I was surprised. I was surprised by it. I thought it would be more of a sense of urgency for New York, but dude, New York, they struggled this entire series, man. Like RJ Barrett, he didn't show up this series. Julius Randle, he didn't show up. I just thought he took too many jump shots in this game, man. Like 3-point jump shots, man. Use your size, man. Your post-up game. He didn't look like the most improved player to me in this game. He didn't even look like MVP to me. Well, you thought he was an MVP candidate at one time.
I thought he was. I think he was an MVP candidate. I mean, because you told me the Knicks were 4 seed. I mean, going into the regular season, I think none of us had the Knicks in the playoffs, and the Knicks being the 4 seed in the East was crazy to me. But he didn't play like it in this series. No doubt about it.
They just had a huge issues with Trae Young in this game, man. But going to the Sixers game, I was worried about this game, man. Like I honestly thought the Wizards was gonna come back in the series, man. You were the ones that was like, hey, man, the Sixers gonna win this game, because I felt like watching this game, like the huge momentum shift from how the Embiid look and the way the rest of the team was playing. But tonight's game, it was completely different. Shout out to Doc Rivers. He had a great game plan going. Like you said, Dwight Howard, man. They went to Dwight Howard a lot in this game, man. And yeah, I saw some vintage Dwight Howard, man. You know, I mean, he's definitely a better free throw shooter than Ben Simmons.
He did. He shot about 80% tonight, 8 to 10.
Yeah. Ben Simmons, I think he was better at the line. I think he was more aggressive in this game. Came out with a triple double. I think he started attacking, started posting up the guys that was defending him and using his size. And when they came up to double team him, Ben Simmons would throw it inside to somebody like Dwight Howard for a high percentage shot. So that was really good. And Seth Curry came through tonight, man. I don't think he had double figures in the last game. He dropped 30 in this game. Tobias Harris, I think he's gonna be that guy that the Sixers gonna lean on depending on what happens to Embiid. Um, but with that being said, man, let's get to our next topic. And right now we got the Jazz and Grizzlies in progress. Jazz looking to wrap that up, and we got the Clippers and we got
Memphis
the
going
Clippers
fishing,
and the Mavs,
boss.
man.
Memphis
All
going
right,
fishing. That series
so
over.
all right, so going to our next topic for tonight, man. This is a huge topic, and we just mentioned the Joel Embiid. So Joel Embiid's out, superstar in today's game, and another superstar in today's game, Anthony Davis, is out. So, which one of these players is a bigger loss for their team? Is it Anthony Davis or is it Joel Embiid?
Clearly, Anthony Davis. Clearly. We just saw the Sixers destroy. I mean, granted, it's the Wizards. I get it. It's the Wizards. Not gonna sit here and hype up the Wizards, even though they have a good backcourt. But Embiid, to me, he has time to rest a little while. I know the Hawks are hot. I get it. I'm not sitting here and knocking them, but I'm just sitting here looking at it and saying to myself, could the Sixers pull that series off without Joel Embiid? Possibly. It's possible. And we're starting from 0-0 in that series. If AD doesn't play, so I think it's tomorrow night the game. The game's tomorrow night, right? If he doesn't play, I think the Lakers are going home, man. I think the Lakers stay home, matter of fact. They stay home. I think the Suns win that series in 6. That series is pretty much over with. What we saw last night between the Suns and the Lakers, I mean, the Suns look like a team that was so confident, kind of like toying with them, like a varsity team practicing against their freshman team, just like, dude, y'all can't beat us. We're going to show y'all what we can do. So I think that if Davis is, clearly the bigger loss. They lost by 30 last night without Anthony Davis, and I just don't see them winning that series or winning anything moving forward without Anthony Davis. So I'm going with Anthony Davis as clearly the bigger loss.
Oh, hell no, man. I disagree, man. I respectfully disagree. I'm going with Joel Embiid, man.
Oh, God.
I just look at, okay, from their last loss, how differently this team looked. Like they were confused. They were dazed, lackluster, and they had no idea what was going on in this game. They were scared to go to Joel. They were scared to go at Joel Embiid inside the paint. And the rebounds was a huge difference too. As soon as he left the game, I'm going with Joel Embiid in this game, man, because it doesn't matter. And you looked at the Vegas odds also, the betting odds also. They had the Wizards as winning that game, man. A lot of people had the Wizards winning that game. People were not confident about the 76ers. I'm sorry, man. I just look at dude, nobody is scared of no damn Ben Simmons. They're gonna let him take the jump shot. They don't care. Did you see how they treated this guy, man? They were intentionally fouling him as soon as they inbounded the ball. I mean, he played a better game today, but I just don't think that you ain't gonna do that against your next opponent, man. And I guess that's now the Atlanta Hawks since they finished off the Knicks. I just think that the Atlanta Hawks, they ain't no joke, man. And I think people are looking at the Atlanta Hawks as, hey, they're gonna get knocked out in this series. I think they're gonna make it really competitive, and it could be a very hard time for them if Joel Embiid doesn't play, because that offense goes through Joel Embiid, man.
I don't argue that. Man. I don't argue that at all.
And if you think the Wizards, what they did on Ben Simmons fouling him intentionally, Nate McMillan, he's looking into that game. He's gonna say, "Oh, I just might do the same exact thing, man." He's a liability on the offensive end, man. And for that last game, Doc Rivers should have taken him out. I'm sorry, man.
No, man. You can't take Ben Simmons off the court, man. Y'all tripping with that nonsense, bro.
But at the end of the day, the offense run throughs Joel Embiid,
It does.
and I just think that it's a bigger loss for this team right now. Without a Joel Embiid, they ain't going nowhere, man. I'm sorry.
Well, here's what I'm saying to you. I don't disagree with you in the fact that, let me say this: neither team will win a championship if Anthony Davis is out or Embiid's out. I think we both agree on that. I think everybody in the chat room agrees with that. I think that we're all on the same page when it comes to winning the championship. What I'm saying to you is Embiid and the Sixers are in a 0-0 tie going into a new series with the Atlanta Hawks. It is do or die for the Los Angeles Lakers right now. They are down 3-2. If Anthony Davis does not play, they could be staying home after game 6. We may not even get a game 7. And that's why this answer has to be ADTO. I'm not sitting there saying the Sixers are going to win the championship without Joel Embiid. Of course they need Joel Embiid. They're not beating Milwaukee or Brooklyn without Joel Embiid. But for the Hawks series, I think they can win that series without him. I'm not saying they should, sit him the entire series. But what I am saying to you is this. I just do not see Anthony Davis not playing and the Lakers beating the Suns in this series. So they won't even get out the first round.
All right, man. I'm going with Embiid. You could go with Davis. We'll see what happens tomorrow. And let's see if Anthony Davis does play or not. All right, so one more topic.
Before you even text me tomorrow, if Anthony Davis doesn't play, I do not have the Lakers. I have the Suns closing it out.
Okay, all right. Thanks. All right. So what our very last topic for tonight, man. The fan incidents in the NBA playoffs has been one of the storylines from sports in general, man. We had Trae Young getting spit on by a New York Knicks fan at MSG, I think in game 1. Then we had Russell Westbrook getting popcorn poured on him by a Philadelphia 76er fan. Then we had Kyrie Irving get up a bottle thrown at him. I think in the last Sixers game today, there was a fan that attempted to run to the court. So, what are your thoughts about these incidents with the fans right now?
Well, obviously, it's unfortunate. I mean, at the end of the day, those gentlemen should not receive, or no one should receive that when they go to work. Nobody should get popcorn thrown on at them. Nobody should be getting water bottles thrown at them. Nobody should be having language from someone that is not even inside. Like, I know fans play a big part in sports, no doubt about it. But at the end of the day, they shouldn't have to go through the things that they're going through. They're there to entertain. They're there to entertain. You can boo them. You can cheer for them. You can heckle them. I get all that. I'm not even opposed to all that. I'm with it. Y'all, I coach a middle school basketball team. And there was one team in particular, man, when we play them, the heckling is going on. They try to come sit right behind your bench, and they're constantly heckling our team. But you know what? I'm okay with all that. But when you take it to the step that they taking it, that's crazy. That's crazy to me. I think anybody that's caught, especially spitting, if you spit on somebody, dude, look, I'm not even gonna hype up Tristan Thompson like, oh yeah, he's right. I'm not for violence. I always say violence is not the answer. I teach my daughters that. But at the end of the day, man, you don't spit on nobody, bro. Like that's never okay. I will never say that's okay to spit on someone. I think that if a fan is caught doing any of those things, spitting, throwing something at an athlete, calling an athlete something that is derogatory, that can, that we know certain words that you just can't use towards people in general, or you wouldn't say to them if you saw them on the streets. I think those fans should definitely get fined and should not be allowed back at an NBA arena, NFL stadium, a major league baseball stadium, or a hockey arena, whatever it is the sporting event is in general, for quite some time. I'm not big on a lifetime ban. I think that's kind of pushing it. But if you have to even do that to start for people to stop doing those type of things, then I'm not. I mean, I can't argue that. But definitely a ban for quite some time, and definitely a fine, because that is never okay to throw things at a player. Definitely not spit at a player, or say use language that is unprofound. So I'm totally against fans doing that, and I'm one that loves to talk trash. Q, fantasy football, I talk trash. Fantasy basketball, I talk trash. When we play basketball, I talk trash. But I never, come at you racially. I never do stuff like that. I never go below the belt. I don't do stuff like that. I don't think that people should do that, especially, when you're there to cheer, root for your team. That's going too far with it to me.
I think with this is I'm sorry, man. Things like this, when it comes to the fans, I think it's gonna continue to happen because it's been happening for a while. Not just in the sport of basketball, but you've seen it happen in football, you've seen it happen in baseball. So I think it's gonna continue to happen, and I think for the NBA this year, I think the NFL, college football, with those sports coming up right now, I think they gotta take a really look at what's happening right now and they gotta make sure they go through their security measures. And I understand, we've been dealing with this pandemic. You know, people are allowed to go to sporting events again, but come on, man, you can't be doing this, man. I think they take it for granted, because they pay to pay to watch the game, and they feel like they could say whatever they want and do whatever they want. But you just can't do this, though, man. I think one thing, you could trash talk, run your mouth, you could cuss at the player or use whatever profanity they do, which I don't agree with. But when you throw something at a player, that's just not cool, man. And just like Kyrie and KD said, man, these athletes ain't animals. At the end of the day, they're still human beings. So I mean, this gotta stop. Owners, GMs, even Adam Silver, man. I think they gotta really pay attention to this as we get to the next round of the playoffs.
Shout out to my guy, man. Um, Y'all already know that one dude 2020, my guy right there, man. Shout out to me. He used to be with the MBS brand. He actually thinks that a lifetime ban is okay with it. He's okay. He's actually okay with it. It definitely sends the message. Sends the message. I can understand why he's saying that. But to go back to your point real quick, Keo, at the zoo. Now we're gonna talk animals for a second, because that was brought up. I wouldn't be okay if you doing that, throwing that at an animal, much less a person. You shouldn't be throwing things at anyone. Should not be throwing things at anyone, bro. It's ridiculous, man. And I know my guy is saying that he thinks a lifetime ban is okay. I don't know if I would go that far, and I'm not saying it's too harsh. I don't know. I'm not big on lifetime things. I know, like Pete Rose, for example, he's not in the MLB Hall of Fame. There was a lifetime ban for the most part, and I don't know how I feel about that, because I feel like people can be rehabilitated and people can learn from their mistakes. But if you never give them a chance to learn from their mistakes, then what are we actually teaching? But I do think that they should definitely be fined, and definitely it should be a harsh ban. I mean, a harsh punishment, for sure, for sure. But I want to point that out, man. It's never okay to throw anything at anyone or anything. You shouldn't be throwing things or spitting on people. Come on, man. You there? We can't hear you.
Oh, okay. I apologize for that. But like I said, hopefully this issue gets addressed and these issues get solved, because I think right now it kind of takes away from the game right now, man. There's been some great playoff games, great playoff performances. Damian Lillard, oh my god.
Oh wow. Hey,
But
let me say this. Hey, I gotta definitely say this, man. Somebody reached out to me on Twitter and said, "How was Damian Lillard clutch?" Because I actually tweeted out that Damian Lillard is so clutch. He's super clutch, and they were like, "Well, he didn't win the game," and I understand that. There's no doubt about it. They did not win the game. But if you're gonna really sit there and act like Damian Lillard didn't show up and wasn't clutch last night, oh my God, what were you watching? Were you even watching the game? We're not going to act like the Blazers lost because of Damian Lillard. CJ McCollum did not play great. Carmelo Anthony turned over the ball in inopportune times. And I'm not sitting there trying to take shots at them. I'm just simply saying we're not about to sit up here and act like they lost because of Damian Lillard. That's crazy.
yeah, see things like that, man. That's what we need to talk about, man. Like, I think with these incidents with the fans, it takes away from the game, man. Like,
Yeah.
it takes away from the game. So hopefully we don't have to talk about this on any shows or the rest of the platforms out there who do podcasting that cover sports. Guys like John and that do cover sports like this. Hopefully they don't have to address certain things like this. But
Facts.
but with that being said, man, we're gonna move on over to our very next topics, and that's it for sports tonight.
But we have one more sports topic. It ain't NBA though.
We do. What is it?
Come on, man. The brotherhood. You know what it is. You know what it is. The brotherhood.
The Brotherhood.
Hey, man. Coach K is calling it a career after this year. Hey, listen, I'm a big Duke fan. If you know me, the one time in sports that I actually cried because my team lost was when UConn and Rip Hamilton beat Trajan Langdon and the Duke Blue Devils in the national championship game. I cried because Duke lost that game. I'm a big Duke fan, huge Coach K fan, and man, I want to know, Keo, where does Coach K, Mike Krzyzewski, rank all time when it comes to college basketball head coaches?
I think he's definitely top three. He has to be on everybody's top three. I'm just gonna say that, but I think he's gonna go down as probably one of. I'm gonna say. Damn, that's tough. I'm gonna say he's gonna go down as one of the best coaches of all time. I definitely got him. I do definitely got him at one.
You got him at one, you said?
Yeah.
No, he ain't one. And like, I'm the biggest Duke fan. I'm never saying the biggest. One of the biggest Duke fans. He'll be number 2 in my list. John Wooden. Nobody's passing John Wooden, bro. The dude, they won 7 in a row. Dude won 88 games in a row. There's no way I'm about to say that anybody should be in front of John Wooden. That's a different level. I don't think any college coach has even won 7 national championships. I don't believe. And John Wooden got 7 in a row, 10 total. He's definitely number 1. We're not gonna act like he's not just because he wasn't a part of our, we didn't see his dominance in our lifetime. But at the end of the day, you do that. That's special. That's just truly special on all levels. But I'll go Coach K number 2. You can go Bobby Knight. I get that. You can go in other directions when it comes to head coaches. But I'm going with John Wooden 1, and I'm definitely going with Coach K number 2. It has been a privilege to watch him. Whether he's coaching the Duke Blue Devils to a national championship, if he's coaching the Duke Blue Devils to a March Madness bid in a tourney game, in a regular season game, in an ACC game, it has definitely been a privilege. If you've seen him coach the Dream Team, when I said the Dream Team, Team USA, then that's been a privilege. So all in all, he's had a phenomenal career. And if you're an up and coming coach, I definitely think you should look at Mike Krzyzewski and say to yourself, he did it the right way. He did it the right way. So shout out to Coach K, man. I'm probably gonna be watching every Duke game this upcoming season just because he's one of my favorite coaches of all time.
Look at you praising Coach K, but you got homeboy John Wooden at number 2. I got Coach K at 1 because
John Wooden is number 1.
No, I got Coach K at 1 over him. I think he has more national titles than him. I think they have the same amount of Final Four appearances. I think he has more wins than him. I think and for me personally, like and it's the same thing, and it's the same thing when people want to compare like Jordan and Kobe. Like I said, I was able to watch Kobe from when he first started. Like I was able to watch Coach K throughout majority of his career. Like he had some great championship. He had some great championship teams. I think he revolutionized like the coaching game. Because when you think of college basketball, when you like right now in today's game, I think some people don't even know who John Wooden is. But in today's game, when you ask somebody about college basketball, and when you think of a name, if they say college basketball coach, they're gonna say Coach K, man. And that they go to Duke because of Coach K, man. People become Duke fans because of Coach K and the players and and they're one of the top elite pro basketball programs, man. When you think of Duke, every single year, you think of them as a championship contender every single year because of Coach K. Coach K was the guy that brought in one of your favorite players, Trajan Langdon. Come on, man.
Facts.
Really?
Facts. When we're talking about John Wooden, bro, you're talking about 10 national championships. At the end of the day, dude, he recruited Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He recruited Bill Walton. This dude is legendary, bro. And even to this day, I can't name you the most recent. I mean, of course, you could throw out names that people are gonna know at UCLA. But when you think of the how prestigious it is to go to UCLA, and you think about them as a powerhouse in college basketball, it's not because of the coaches that's been there the last few years or the last 30 years. It's because of John Wooden. That's why they're so prestigious. That's why you look at UCLA and tell yourself, that's UCLA because of what he did. And people like Reggie Miller and Lonzo Ball and all the guys that went to UCLA is because of what he did way back then that is still known to today. Don't make me bring up Ed O'Bannon. And Toby Davis.
Don't be disrespectful to Tyus Edney. Are you kidding me? Yeah, for some reason, I had a feeling you were gonna say that. But really quick though, I hate to put you on the spot with this. Since you got John Wooden at 1, is John, when it comes to sports in general, is it, as far as coaches goes, is John Wooden in the top 5 for you?
Absolutely, no doubt about it.
What 1?
He's right there among the greatest. He's right there among the greatest.
Is Coach K in there?
Top 5 all time in any sport.
Yeah.
Coach K's around. He's flirting around the top 5, but John Wooden is top 5 in my opinion.
Okay. All right.
And I thought you was gonna ask me my favorite Duke player of all time. If anybody out there, Keo knows this.
Well, I already know that already.
It's Trajan Langdon. Don't do it. The Alaskan assassin. Clearly. by far, not Kyrie Irving, not Jason Tatum, not Shane Battier, not Elton Brand, not Jason Williams. It is Trajan Langdon.
Okay. I like JJ Redick.
Yeah, shout out to JJ Redick too. It's not Christian Layton and neither are Grant Hill. I know there's a lot of great players, a lot of great players that came from Duke. For me, Trajan Langdon, hands down.
Okay, all right. So let's move on over to our next up. We do not have sneaker of the week tonight, but we're gonna move on over and we're gonna talk about some music, man. The late great
Yeah.
DMX passed away. We lost him. Um, he dropped an album last week. It was called Exodus. Um, what are your thoughts on the album, and what would you rate it from 1 through 10?
You know, what's sad is, you know, unfortunately, we're gonna have to rate this, and we're gonna come on here and rate it. And of course, I believe that most people are gonna rate it high because he passed away, and I have no issue with it. But I would wonder if he didn't pass away, how many people would have actually got the album, and how many people would have rated it? Would they rate it today? I hear a lot of buzz about it. Keo told me about it. He was the one that said, "Actually, go check it out." But I'm not, when I say this is no cap. I actually listened to most of the album today, and I like the album, bro. And it's not because he passed away. You know, we came on here and I told you I'm a big DMX fan, but that song "Skyscraper" featuring Bono, oh my god, dude, that is crazy. That's my favorite song I've heard so far.
Wow,
I know they got
really?
this. I know they
I
got
thought you were gonna. I
nah,
honestly thought you were gonna go with bath salts.
nah, no, man. That's cool. To be honest, that's not even my second favorite song on the album that I heard. Um, I like the first one. The first one when it kicks off, the intro with the
What?
locks and Swiss Beats. That's hard for
Yeah.
me. But my favorite song on the album thus far, and I listened to the majority of it, "Skyscrapers" by a landslide featuring Bono. That song is fire. I'm giving the album a strong, and look, it's not fair because I haven't listened to the whole album, but a strong 8.5 right now out of 10. It could possibly be higher than that once I listen to the entire album. But I love the song "Skyscraper," man. That's gonna be my new jam right now that I'm really on. And I only listened to it today, and that song I actually listened to like 3 times because I just had to keep repeating it because it was that fire. So shout out to DMX, man. My thoughts and prayers are still with his family and friends, even though it's happened a couple of weeks ago. It's still fresh in a lot of people's minds. I know it's fresh probably in his friends' minds and his family's mind. So definitely still thoughts and prayers with him and them. So yeah, 8.5 right now out of 10.
So just a quick history about the how the album came about. I think we first knew about the album when he had his versus battle against Snoop, and I think that was probably one of the best versus battle of all time. Um, but the album Exodus, he basically has a tattoo of it on his neck on the album cover, and it's actually his son's name, his youngest son. The album is getting good views and vibes right now. It's projected to hit the Billboard charts. It's projected to go at least top five. I don't think it's gonna go number one, but I think it's gonna go top five. And I'm always and he's been doing huge numbers, man. His numbers been skyrocketing over 1,000%. His hit single "Rough Riders Anthem" hit number one on the iTunes chart since he passed away. But with that being said, I'm always gonna keep it 1,000. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm not gonna go and be on somebody's nuts because they passed away. And I know a lot of people do that when it comes to the artists that have passed away, but I'm not that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna give it a 7.5, man. I think it was a decent album. I don't think it was his best album. Bath Sauce was probably my favorite song on there. When you have Jay-Z and Nas, on the song at the same time with DMX on it, and the beat was crazy, man. And I definitely liked um, I definitely like Nas's verse. He had a bar saying something of you need to post, go holla at academics. And he also meant on the Jay Z part. Jay Z had a controversial line, the Kardashian line. A lot of people thought he was taking shots at Kardashian, but I think it was just part of his rhyme scheme, which people do not understand. I like the way they kicked off the song with the locks and Swiss beats. Swiss was huge on the production. So I'm glad that they were able to put this out, man. They had one with Lil Wayne on it. I thought that one was dope
I
also.
like that one too.
Um, Usher, I think Usher was on there. I think he was on the very last song. I thought that was also dope too. But overall, man, the album it was a pretty good album, man. So I definitely gonna give it its roses, and I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
Okay. Okay.
All right, man. So let's move on over to our second to last topic before we close things out. And we're gonna talk about some movies right now. So there was two movies that came out. We had the Cruella movie, and then we had A Quiet Place Part Two. So I don't know what you're gonna say, man. You're shaking your head. You're scaring me right now. So go ahead. The floor is yours.
Okay, so Q and I, we spoke about these two movies last week. I think it was last week or the week before. I ain't gonna lie to you, I don't remember. But Keo asked us, well, asked me. I don't even know if Saray was on the show during that time that you asked me, but you asked me. You said, which one are you looking more forward to watching? And I said, clearly A Quiet Place too. Are you kidding me? I don't want to watch Cruella. Are you kidding me? I'm going to watch it because I have daughters and I'm going to watch it and I'm going to see about, what it's all about. But dude, like, no, like that's not going to be it. I was wrong. I was wrong. I was wrong. I was wrong. Quiet Place 2, I'm giving it a 5.
Wow.
I don't think it's I don't think it's a movie that you need to go to the movies and watch. It's no shade to people that produced it and directed it, but it's not a movie that you have to go watch in the movie theater. It wasn't what I expected. Not to say it was a bad movie. A 5 for me is average. It's an average movie. If I don't ever see the movie, I'm not tripping. If I do see it, cool. But it's nothing that I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, that's a must watch. It's a must see. No, it wasn't a must see. It was not a must see. I was highly disappointed because I went to the movies and watched it with my family, and even they said they wasn't impressed with it. And I thought it was just gonna be me when we walked out the movies that didn't care for it, but everybody said it. So I'm giving that a 5. Not a must see in movies. Don't go wasting money. Wait for it to come out. Check it out then. Cruella, on the other hand, I'm giving that movie, bro. Clearly better than Quiet Place 2. Clearly better. So since it's clearly better, I'm gonna give it, man. I'm gonna give it an 8. Yeah, it's around that 8 range, 7.5, 8ish range. I thought it was dope. I like the different perspective in which they showed. You might have grew up watching 101 Dalmatians, and then you see it from a different perspective, the other side, which I can always appreciate as someone that looks at things from every perspective for the most part. I try to look at everything from this point of view and that point of view. And I thought it was dope. I thought it was real dope on how they put the movie together. I'm gonna go at 8, a hard 8 too. Hey, shout out to Keo, man. He said that movie was gonna be better. It was better, clearly to me. Cruella is definitely a movie that I would watch again. If my daughters put it on in the middle of the movie, sometimes when you watch in the middle of the movie, you kind of just like sit there and just watch it to the end. It's one of those movies that I would definitely watch again. Quiet Place 2, I never have to see again. So I'm going with an 8 for Cruella.
Okay, so with this movie, I definitely like this movie. I definitely give it an 8 also. I like the way they stuck with most of the storyline. They kind of connect things about they kind of going back to like the old days. They kind of showed the storyline about her, how she started from being young to becoming the person that she is today. And I think Emma Stone, she did that movie justice, man. She did a really great job at it, man. I thought she wasn't gonna pull it off, but and I think Cruella, man, like I think she's one of like my favorite villains of all time, man. I think outside of the Joker, the Joker did a good job when he did the Dark Knight. I think she did a good job also when it came to Cruella, man. And I just liked every moment of it. And I think this was probably one of the best reboot movies that I've seen in a while that Disney has done. So I like everything about this movie, man. I had no complaints about this movie at all.
Okay, okay. Did you watch A Quiet Store Place too?
No, I did not
Then
get a
you don't need
chance
to
to watch
watch
that.
it. You don't need to watch it.
Okay. So with that being said, we're gonna go to our very last topic, and it's question of the week, and it's your turn.
Yeah. Hey, look. I got people in here. I want y'all to know, man. Go call your aunties. Go call your grandmothers. Go call your daughters, your sons, your nieces, your nephews. It's question of the week. This is the question. We're about to get the question of the week popping. Call your mom and your daddy. Call everybody because this is the entertainment that we're all looking for. We're gonna have a real discussion about something in a second. But go call everybody that you know. Share the broadcast if you can. Please share it because the question I want to know the answer to this. This is going to be an answer that I think a lot of different perspectives are going to come, and a lot of people from different age groups are going to try to vouch for one particular side or one particular subject. So if y'all can, man, get some people in here. If y'all, and for anybody that's going to come in later and check this out, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on Periscope, whether you're on YouTube, whatever it is, answer the question. Let us know what you think. So the question of the week this week, I wish Sheree was here for this one. Keo, everybody tuned in. What is the best, the absolute best social media site out right now? Uh-oh. Let the games begin. Is it TikTok? Is it Snapchat? Is it Twitter? Is it Instagram? Is it Facebook? Is it LinkedIn? What is the best? Is it Clubhouse? Is it which one I'm leaving out? Is it what I'm
Snapchat.
no, I said Snapchat. House Party. What is the best social media platform right now going today? Keo, I want to know from you. I want to know from everybody tuned in. Which is it? I don't want to hear, oh, I don't know X. I don't know. I did a little study before coming on this show for this subject, and I found that ages 5 to about 15 to believe it to be TikTok. Ages 15 to 22 about said it was Snapchat. 22 to 30 is like Instagram. And 30 on up, I saw for the most part is Facebook. Twitter, I think is more for, I think more people that like Twitter is more like famous people, from what I gathered. So what you think, Keo? What is the number one social media site in the world to you? Doesn't matter what the numbers say. Doesn't matter who uses what most. I'm asking you, in your opinion, what is your favorite social media site?
My favorite social media site. The number one for me, I'm going with Facebook, man.
Oh, we got a Facebook in here.
So the reason why I chose Facebook, not only I was able to build a lot of relationships. on there. I met a lot of interesting people that I became friends. Um, Small story. I don't know if she's tuning in right now. I met my girlfriend through Facebook.
Wow. We gotta clap it up. We gotta clap it up for that one. Let's go.
It's, but um, but yeah, man. And then it's just more convenient, easy when it came to Messenger also, and then everybody's trying to implement Messenger on their social media sites. You could add your stories on there. I think Snapchat started doing, then they started doing it, and then your regular normal posts. Music videos, and then Facebook groups also, man, is a huge thing also, especially us doing podcasts. For us to do that, and then you meet your family members, friends that you haven't seen in a long time. They're always on Facebook, man. So I think for me, that's the number one social media website that I or app that I probably use the most, man. So I'm definitely going with Facebook for me.
Okay, so I have a two-part answer to this for what's the best social media platform that I like. I get everything Keo's saying. I actually agree with him. Facebook is dope in its own right, and for a lot of the very reasons Keo just said, I believe Facebook to be one of, if not the dopest social media sites out there. Now, with that being said, which platform do I use the most and enjoy the most is Instagram. I like Instagram because I feel like the picture is the big part, and then or the video is the big part, and then you can read the description if you choose to read the description or not. It's at the bottom, but for the most part you get the image, and I like images. I like pictures. I got art hanging up on my wall and throughout my house. I'm a big visual person. I like the visual. I also like to read, but when it comes to Facebook, you see the words first and then you see the photo. And scrolling through Facebook is cool sometimes, but I prefer Instagram. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Instagram. I definitely use Instagram the most out of everything. The only thing I can say about Facebook, I definitely do use the messenger part of Facebook a lot.
No, I get what you're saying when it comes to Instagram. Like from what I see, like from right now, I think Instagram has probably been the number one dominant social media site from what I've seen so far. So I think that's has been the dominant one as far, and everybody that I know is nearly on there. So I think that has, and you're right about the photos and the images and all that. You definitely right about that. And obviously they got the feature Instagram TV,
Mm-hmm.
where you and then I think one thing that I like about Twitter, that the Twitter has an advantage over the rest of them. Twitter, if you want to get your news and updates, oh, go
Yeah,
on Twitter. You're gonna get
fact.
that. You're gonna get it right away. And that's one thing I do like about Twitter. Um, I try to use Twitter more because it's Twitter. I think Twitter is good for networking. That's why
Yes,
I do go on it. Like majority of our past high profile guests that's been on the MBS show for interviews, we contacted them through Twitter. So Twitter is huge
facts.
if you're networking and want to get your name out there as a music artist, model, somebody that does podcasting. I think that's a network you should use. And I think like the young ones, the young cats, I think they're into TikTok, Snapchat, um, uh, apps like that. I think it goes. I think it would. I'm gonna say by certain ages, it depends what age you are. What is the dominant app out there?
Facts. My daughter said TikTok is clearly the number one social media
Yeah.
platform right now. My daughters will argue down anybody and say, "Are you kidding me?
You,
Only old people are on Facebook."
you know what? You know what? Hey, you know what? I'm gonna put a poll out there, man. Sometimes I normally do polls. I'm gonna put a poll on Instagram, and we're gonna see what is the best social media app, and I'll even I think I'll even upload this video to see what people actually think of what's the best social media app right now. So what is the best social media app? It is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. What is it, man? I think we all have different opinions when it comes to it.
Facts.
All right, man. So, with that being said, it's time to wrap up tonight's show and do some shout outs. So,
Definitely.
shout out to everybody that tunes and supports the show. It was actually a good show, man. I know Soraya wasn't able to make it. Like I said, she had certain obligations. Like I said, sneaking of the week will slowly be inserted to the show as basketball and the NBA playoffs die down. Um, And shout out to you, man. I know you've been busy, man, but you still holding it down with me, man. Shout out to Jay Franchise was able to do the MBS show with him. GBD, he actually has a bragging rights video dropping this Sunday, so make sure you check out for that. And MBS, let's talk about it, man. We still here, man. With that being said, we'll see you guys next week, and summer starting, man. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, with that being said, I want to give a huge shout out. I'm glad you said that to the ASO Proctor Academy. Shout out to my wife, man. She started her own summer camp this summer. It's been a crazy past couple of days, but it's been a fun and rewarding last couple of days. So shout out to her for starting her love, her dream, and going after the things that she wants to get out of her future. So shout out to the ASO Proctor Academy. Also, I want to shout out anybody, man, that's going through something in this world. I had somebody I saw on Facebook say that their loved one passed away. I'm not going to say no names. I just want you to know, man, COVID is real, man. And even though it's kind of dying down, somebody just I saw that I'm very close to, they lost somebody due to COVID. So even though it's dying down, please, please, please stay safe out there. It's not going yet. It's not over yet. So please stay safe out there when it comes to COVID-19. It is definitely not over with. And last but not least, I had an interview set up, and I'm gonna say it on here. I'm not gonna say who it was, but something came up in my life, dropped the ball. I do want to say I'm sorry about that. Even though it was a real situation, I couldn't change what is, but I just want that person to know, because we did have a fire interview lined up for you guys, and your boy Trex, the sports junkie, dropped the ball. It was not nobody at the MBS brand. It was myself that dropped the ball. But that person, if you're tuned in, you check this out. I just want you to know it was never my intent to miss the interview. I wanted to do the interview. It just, unfortunately, something happened that was a major emergency within my life that I could not pass up. And I am sorry about that opportunity. But with that being said, this has been MBS Let's Talk About It. And we'll be back next week. Hopefully my girl Saray is back. Love y'all. We out. Peace.